Number 1. A bollock can't keep the paranormal out. Published by Dark Ghost Paranormal in April of 2021. This is a true house of horrors as Russian paranormal investigator. Dennis looks around the unsettling home. Something appears to let itself in. Dennis backs off and shuts the door behind him, but that doesn't stop the unwelcome guest. After verifying that there's no one there, Dennis returns to his investigation close by. He hears a loud knock. Later, the wardrobe drawers open on their own. It looks like newspaper is shoved up from one of them. Then the wardrobe doors open one at a time. This second one repeatedly swings open and shut. Dennis walks toward it, and there's nothing inside, yet it continues to open and close. This occurs for several minutes. Later, he hears a noise. A bunch of racket draws him to this cupboard. It sounds like all the dishes inside are jumping around. Opening the cupboard doors, he finds nothing out of place. He then hears another noise and finds a bag moving as it hangs on the wall, like there's an animal trapped inside of that. He takes the bag from its hook and opens it, but again there's nothing inside. When he puts it back down on the bed, it continues to move. What is inhabiting this haunted home? Whatever it is itself in. Number 2. Something unsettling is going on in this haunted house. Published by Mr. Horror in February of 2022. The scary video begins with this mysterious clacking noise. The room is empty. The floor looks like it's covered in dirt or sawdust, or, as some of the comments suggest, flour. The clacking continues, followed by a large banging sound. Then footsteps appear as something invisible walks across the floor. Many in the comments note how big the prints are. Others are just glad there isn't a jump scare. To what or who do you think these pranks belong? For now, I think it'll remain a mystery. Number 3. A beautiful home built in 1934 turned ugly when in 2009, the real estate mogul who bought the home took his wife's life, claiming the woman went missing on a hike. A search began for his wife, but turned up nothing. A year later, the man put a new addition on his home that raised enough suspicion for police to request a search warrant. They found the wife buried beneath the home. The man was given more than 20 years behind bars, and the house remains abandoned. Published by Dark Exploration Films. This walkthrough of the home is incredibly disturbing, taking viewers through the grounds and inside the home.
Let's go into the room that everybody wants to see. So this room was added in 2009.
The explorer comes upon the hole in which the woman was buried.
And once the police found out about this construction, they were a little skeptical.
Many in the comments are bewildered that anyone could live in the home. They buried their wife, and without getting telltale-hearted to the point of insanity. Others feel a sense of darkness and foreboding, and even a feeling of sadness there. Surely, the woman's spirit remains. Number 4. South Korean ghost Center Youngma. He is exploring an old abandoned haunted house for evidence of the paranormal. What he's caught on tape is up for debate. So let's get right to it. Tell me if you hear a footstep after he finishes his sentence.
계세요? 누구 계세요?
All of the rooms look completely ripped apart, and yet nothing has been taken. Drawers and shelves are overturned, but clothing and personal items remain largely untouched. It looks like the work of poltergeist activity to men, not thieves. A particularly angry poltergeist at that, but perhaps the scariest part of all is this EVP of a man's voice. A completely overlaps his zone when he touches the old owner's shoe.
이거 화장실이다.
That does not sound like a house settling or anything like that. It's definitely vocal cords, the ghostly voice of someone who is with us in spirit alone. Finally, analysis. Yeah, this video is about his paranormal as it gets. Number 5. You couldn't pay me money to stay in this house. Posted to TikTok by Jen Barari, the TikToker explains that strange things have been happening in her barn-style home. As she's speaking, she hears something. Even though she's home alone, she follows the noise. You can hear repeated loud banging coming from the living room. Her cat looks uneasy when she enters the find no one's there. She asks the spirits to stop and leave.
Can you stop?
She then turns to capture her reflection in the television, and it looks like a dark shadow is creeping up behind her. Turning around, there's nothing there. In a later clip, she is showing her viewers the pond outside when a dark shadow passes behind her and the reflection of the window. She walks around the house, turning all the lights on, and something starts banging again. She takes this as her to leave.
Oh my, it's okay. It's okay. Holy.
In the comments, TikToker Danny writes, "My electricity bill would be so high because I would never turn a single light off in that house ever. Some say this made their skin crawl. Others suggest sage. Still others say this is beyond sage. I say you should avoid finishing this for truly brave." Number 6. When demons get aggressive, then it's time to be really afraid. Published by Realidad Altuna in November of 2021. This scary video shows a terrifying malignant incident caught on camera, captured in a scary haunted house. Tim sets up his camera and immediately hears a strange noise behind him. As he's reading something out loud, a window pane starts opening and shutting like mad. The lights start flashing in both rooms, and later, with a night vision on, a chair comes flying out of another room. It doesn't look like it's thrown, rather like it rises, but the scariest part is yet to come. As Tim reads a ritual out loud, a chair comes flying behind him, knocking him over and seated into the chair. Later, he hears strange knocking from the basement. And when he goes to investigate, creepy groans sound distantly, but they seem like they're all around him. There's something truly to fear in this demon house. Are you ready to face it? Number 7. Someone's life was taken here, and a shadow person remains. Is it the person who passed or the person who ended their life? Published in December of 2021. Drana and Mike's paranormal adventures entered this house in Gulmar. Then they bargained for while exploring. The homeless spirit speaks to them. The voice sounds like it's whispering, "Help me out." As they continue to communicate with the spirits in the darkness, Drana up feels something touch her on the shoulder.
Do you know any of our names?
Did you just touch me on my shoulder?
Later, in another room, Drana and Mike are talking with someone off camera, and the camera scans from one side of the room to the other. This is when you see it.
On the thrill. Now you work.
Where they're officers in the light filters.
In the next room over, the shadow appears. It looks like it's ducking behind the door, and it disappears in an instant. Is there a lost soul in this haunted home? And if so, who does it belong to? I know I wouldn't go back there after seeing this, but I do really think this place needs further investigation.